So earlier today, I was flipping through Joseph Bates' Streamer Fly Tying and Fishing from 1950, just looking for some inspiration. And I found a cool plate in here of imitator patterns created by Lew Oatman. You might have heard of Lew Oatman. He's kind of famed for the Shoeshine Postmaster. Now I didn't want to tie any one of these exact patterns, so I decided to just make one up. And it's getting to be winter time. I've always heard that blue does pretty well in the winter, so I'm putting a little bit of blue bucktail in this thing, and then just a little bit of black topping, which could either be bucktail or skunk or something. I'm going to use squirrel because I found one on the side of the road up in the Catskills a few weeks ago, and it's just fun to tie with. And oh yeah, we haven't done a Name the Fly contest in a few months, so let's do that today. And how that works, just watch the video and then leave a comment with what you think we should name this fly. And heads up, don't say Matt's something or something. I've never named a fly after myself, and I don't know why, it just seems a little bit pretentious. So come up with some original name, anything else is on the table. In a few days, I'll pick the top 5 and we'll put it out there for a vote. And the winner, I will send a $50 gift card to Jay Stockard. So that's it, my friends. This is a pretty fun tie. Looks like it's going to be a fun one to fish. Can't wait to hear what you guys come up with for a name. So there it is in the vise, the as yet to be named bucktail hairwing streamer. Pretty nifty little pattern. Can't wait to get out there and give it a shot. Now I'm tying this on a size 8. This is a 6X long Limerick bend streamer hook. Let's go ahead and pinch that barb. Now I'm going to go with black thread. This is a 70 denier. I should probably have stepped it up to a 140, but I didn't have any in the spool. So we're going with a 70 denier. Just catch it in somewhere in the middle of the hook. Go ahead and take it all the way back to the bend. Now I did want a tail on this thing, so I'm going to use some mottled turkey, just a small slip. Duck would be fine, really anything you want here. Any kind of flight feather I think is going to be pretty cool. So let's do a wrap or 2 right here. Okay, that's a little wonky, but I think it's going to work. Now I'm just going to go ahead and bury this. You could snip it. I don't think it's a big deal because we do have kind of a thick body. So go ahead and take your thread up. Couple eye lengths back, and I'm going to catch in some wool yarn, white wool yarn. This is a 3-strand. If you spin it, you can see it will unwind a little bit. When you get 1 strand, it looks like this right here. So let's go ahead and catch this one in up here toward the front. That should work right there. Now some big loose open wraps to get us to the back. Now let's catch in some silver tinsel. This one happens to be a holographic. I don't think that matters the slightest bit, but I do want just a little bit of flash in my body. So some kind of tinsel I think is going to work. And now let's just wrap this wool yarn. And I'm not going to pull it real tight. If it does start to get too flat on me, you can just give it a little clockwise spin to kind of cord it up a little bit. But I'm leaving it a little bit loose so that it will absorb more water. I don't know if that will make it a dang it, this yarn, look at this, I've pulled it and it is kind of a mess, so I'm not going to just edit out my errors. What I'm going to do here, my screw ups, I'm going to catch in another strand. Okay, got another strand cut here, and what I'll do here, I'll just be a little more careful. And my body will end up being just a little bit thicker, but I don't think it's going to be too noticeable. Okay, now bring our thread back up here, and just be careful. If you are using a wool yarn, it will pull apart on you if you're not careful. So we'll just wrap this up kind of slow right here until we get all the way up here to our thread. Okay, now let's catch it off. And if you're wondering how I did that so fast, well, that was editing. I did speed that up just a little bit. So let's catch this off. Now we'll wrap this tinsel, and you can counter wrap it if you want. Again, I don't think this really matters. And put the wraps as close together as you want, depending on how much flash you'd like. Alrighty, I think that's going to be enough flash. I'm going to do 2 wraps, and watch this. I'll fold it back over, put a couple more wraps just to really lock that tinsel in before I snip it off. Now the first component of my wing, just some dyed blue bucktail. Put this in my stacker real quick. Let's see if this stacked okay. Maybe, we'll see. Yep, that's pretty well stacked. Stacked well enough. All right, now I'm gonna cord my thread up. I might need to take it back just a little bit. Do a couple of wraps right here. And one thing I like to do is, not always, but sometimes with bucktail, I will put a wrap up under it and then go back over and then back under it again. And this will oftentimes keep that from spinning around on you. Now it might prop it up more than you want, but you can take care of that with just a few wraps going back, maybe some medium wraps right here. So now we got it laying flat again. Now let's snip this off. Now let's get some kind of black topping for it. Either bucktail or skunk, or if you're like me and you've got a roadkill black squirrel laying around, use that. So this is actually squirrel, but bucktail right here would be just fine. So there we go. I kind of like that topping. Do I have enough wraps that it's really secured? I think so. Let's go ahead and snip this excess up here. And you could just finish that head and call it done, but what I like to do, oftentimes little baitfish do have some red gills. So either a tuft of schlappen or red marabou. Doesn't have to be big, it's just a hint of a little bit of red up here under the, the head. So let's see, I think that should be enough, but we gotta obviously take care of this mess up here. Is that gonna be enough? Oh, that is ugly, isn't it? Oh man. Well, I've already screwed up this fly several times, so we're just gonna leave it. We've got a little hint. Again, remember I said that little red was kind of optional. And yeah, that's kind of ugly, but let's go ahead and finish this fly. It's going in my box. And that was another area where I sped up the video there. Let's go ahead and do a quick whip finish. All right, there we go. Drop of head cement, a little bit of cleanup. Do I have any cleanup on this? Yeah, that throat looks horrible, but again, I am going to just put this in my box. So that's it, everybody. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any ideas what we should call this thing. And I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.